In classic physique, you really want that upper chest to be big and full. Another important thing about classic physique is broad shoulders. So another great thing about classic physique, in my opinion, is of course having big arms. Oh yes, today we are going to do a chest workout, the workout for today's subject. What is classic physique truly all about? So I'm going to talk to you guys about that during this workout. And obviously the chest, the whole upper shelf of the body is very important for this division. So that's why I'm taking it very seriously. There needs to be a flow in the body, but I do think classic physique is all about the X factor as well. Something special to deliver to the stage rather than being, in my opinion, if you're complete and balanced, it can be quite boring. Whereas as you compare the physiques of the 70s to now, they all had something about the physique that made them special rather than perfect. They were special, and to me, that is what classic physique is about. Anyway, let's work. And I'm also very proud to show you guys our new vintage gym neon sign by In Neon District. So I got this neon sign from them because we wanted something to upgrade the Stay Golden sign over there. I got that for one of my birthdays years ago from Marley for her support into staying golden. But now this is also very special because, as many of you guys may or may not know, we changed the name of the gym from 100% Fit Gym to Vintage Gym. So this is the first true vintage gym sign we have in this gym that is very custom made for this gym. So we have the Dutch flag, the orange, the national Dutch color, and of course the vintage gym in all of its glory for us to look at every time we work out. And you can also get your own neon sign by In Neon District with my code Wesley for a beautiful discount on this beautiful sign. Anyway, let's keep training. Slight decline press to get that Arnold-esque chest for a true classic physique. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, staying in between the 8 to 12 rep range. Had to use a gym pin on this. So in total we added 6 kilos to the stack. To have a stack that is this heavy in general is pretty unique, regardless. Higher reps for a good chest pump. Whew. Oh. Woo. Oh. I was aiming for higher reps, but only 1 rep more than usual. That's when you know when you're a prep. We're gonna do the incline bench press right now. The one that Arnold used to love to do, but on a free weight barbell because he had a spotter. I like to do it on the Smith machine. For the upper chest, in classic physique, you really want that upper chest to be big and full. And that is also one of the main differences, I believe, between like Arnold, also Frank Zane, Serge Nubret, all those old school guys compared to the lineup of today. Today you have really that X frame, so broad shoulders. They're trying for a small waist, doesn't always work. And then the super tree trunk legs, that's an X frame. Back in the day, they went more for an Y frame. So kind of like broad shoulders, tapering down to a small waist and going into muscular aesthetic legs instead of like these super bowed out extreme tree trunk legs. That to me looks more classic because it literally is classic. Back in the day, apart from Tom Platz, there were no guys that look like the guys of today with that kind of frame. So that's why focusing, if you love physiques like this, like I do, focusing on the upper shelf of the body, making that the dominant part, but having everything else in a nice flow tapering down, that is really a classic physique in my opinion. So that's why we're working on a slightly higher angle here as well. I used to work in the most shallow angle possible for the upper chest, but I still think that just works the whole chest. And if you really want to target the upper pecs, you gotta find the angle with which you feel the best stretch in the upper pectoral fibers. So really, we just did a pump up exercise with the first one, you feel the chest, and now when you go all the way down, you should also feel that stretch a lot better, a lot easier compared to if you start out with this one. So find the correct angle. Any higher than 45 degrees isn't necessary in my opinion. Anywhere from 10 to 45 degrees, somewhere in there, will create you your best upper chest development. Oh, damn. Oh. Oh. Volume is cut down near the end of prep. Well, yeah, we're under 4 weeks out. 3.5 goes really quickly now. So we're keeping strength up by reducing the volume, reducing the last set. Normally we'll do another set, but it's useless. So moving on. This is the final chest movement. Normally it would be a fly, but I really like this hybrid version, kind of like a fly at the end, really trying to contract the chest. But at the begin portion of the range of motion, the stretch part, it really is a press. So you have the best of both worlds without messing up the front delt. Truly feels amazing on this Gym 80 free motion cable machine. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Another important thing about classic physique and classic bodybuilding is broad shoulders. And you know, we all know this side lateral raise to build the shoulders, but this one is the modern version to keep the tension exactly where you want it at the bottom position, where you get the stretch, the most tension. If you get it there, you get the most growth. So I put this at around chest height. So when you're going all the way down, you have the maximum stretch, but when you go upwards, the weight actually becomes lighter, allowing you to go to failure a lot closer. Instead of like failing at the bottom, you kind of fail in a midpoint, which brings you closer to failure and more tension at the bottom at the same time. And by the way, I'm using like an ankle cuff as well that gets rid of the wrist joint. So another joint that you don't need, like the grip, is eliminated from the movement, allowing for a more natural way of moving, really focusing only on the side delt and nothing else. So another great thing about classic physique, in my opinion, is of course having big arms. And focusing on the biceps is one thing, but I want to focus also on the long head of the triceps, with which I'll be using this for. So this is for the long head, which is the part you see all the way that side. It creates like more of a depth, more of a hang in the front upper bicep pose, and a lot of other classic physique poses. Like in every favorite classic physique pose, which is a pose competitors can choose themselves, the triceps play a big role, in my opinion, if you want to complete the look. So the arms are very important in classic physique, and you might as well want to start with the biggest portion of the triceps to train, and that is the overhead tricep extension. Oh man. Woo! A large stretch is a large muscle stimulus for large triceps, like this. Yeah. Oh. Man.
Wesley, we just saw you do some posing. Can you reveal us a little for the Arnold Classic routine?
Yeah, of course, the Arnold Classic, the name says it already, needs to be a classic posing routine with Arnold inspired poses. I believe if you can do Arnold poses like this one or this one, you have to include them into your routine, especially at the Arnold Classic. So I'll be doing a lot of those. But most importantly, the posing routine song, the music will be entirely custom made for the Arnold. So it's going to be a mixture of, not as much classical music actually, because that's quite boring. We're going to do classic poses that are dynamic, powerful, on my type of music. So it's going to be a very nice, creative mixture of music you kind of hear in this gym a little bit, but then taking it back a few years, because we gotta love a little bit of the older music, but still in this kind of style with a lot of custom additions, let's just say. And it's going to be a very, very special one, showcasing the strength of my physique, the presentation, the classical poses, and it will be really Arnold-esque. Oh, the abs, guys. The abs are really important in classic physique. I used to make the mistake of not training them in order to keep my waist small, but actually, if you train the abs, you can keep more definition within the abdominal area, within the core area, making it a strong point. But even more important is training the lower abs and a transverse abdominis, the TVA muscle, which is responsible for the vacuum. So in all of my poses that are from the front, pretty much the front or side, I always pull a vacuum, like the frontal biceps, breathe out all the air. And then you can't talk because you have no air left in your stomach. But that is very important to create that V-taper illusion by making the waist as narrow as possible and the clavicles as wide as possible, wide lats, wide shoulders, narrow flat waist, defined abs. Those are the hallmarks of what Arnold said is the most important aspect, literally the center of your physique, the core, the abs. So focus on those. And when I was in Vienna with my coach Stefan, he said my lower abs were a bit weak. So whenever I do like a transition or the vacuum itself, I can suck in the top half very easily, but the bottom half a bit more difficult. So that's why I'm doing this specific movement in order to create the strength in the lower abs to suck it in even more, to really create a flat stomach as possible, which in classic bodybuilding, classic physique is really what you want. The smaller your core, the bigger the rest of your body will appear to be. Oh, oh, oh. Oh man. Whew. So I train the abs at least a couple of times a week now, pretty much every 2 days at least. And today is kind of a small ab day. On the other day I do a lot more sets to make sure I recover enough. But yes guys, this was one of my typical chest, tricep, side delt and ab workouts. Let me know what you think about what classic physique truly is, how it compares to classic bodybuilding from back in the 70s, and if you're happy with how it currently is being judged, and if you would have some own feedback on what you would like to see on stage, because I'm going to do my very best to showcase the perfect balance between what classic bodybuilding really is and what is judged as classic physique nowadays, as I do want to score as high as possible at the Arnold Classic, at the Olympia, etc. So thank you very much for the always golden support. And don't forget to stay golden.